I would like to go over the assignment. In this assignment, you will be working with an array. The array will contain inspirational quotes. You can use my quotes or you can use your own quotes on any topic. You can use my file or you can create your own web page. When the page loads, you see a quotation. That quotation was randomly generated. Because I have 8 elements in my array, I am generating a random number between 0 and 7. I am matching that number with the index element of the array in order to display the quote on the web page. I give you the code for generating the random number. Should your array have more or less than 8 elements, you would need to adjust this code as needed. When I scroll down, I see the 8 quotations that are in my array. In order to place these quotations on the web page, I need to use a loop. Arrays work very well with for loops because they all work with numbers starting with 0. You will need to use some formatting so the quotations are not too close together on the web page. The HTML will be included in the for loop, not inside the quotation in the array. The random quotation and all of the quotations will be displayed on the web page by using 2 separate functions. The array itself does not need to be inside a function. Because both of these functions are using the same array, we actually want the array to be placed outside the function so that the scope of the variable can be accessed inside both functions. So you will have 2 functions. One function generates the random quote. One function displays all of the elements in the array. Both of those functions will be called when the page has loaded. I have extra credit here. Notice I have a form. Should the user wish to add a quotation, they can enter the quotation in the text box and click the button to add the quote. Should they wish to remove the quote, they may do that also by clicking the button. So here I have a quote in the text box, and I will click Add, and now we see it here. That will be accomplished using a function. The function will be called when the button is clicked. I would like to point out that after you use the appropriate method to add the quotation, that you need to call the function to display all of the quotations again, or you will not see the newly added quotation. You will need to retrieve the value from that text box, and I have that code for you. So now I will add another quote. Now I have 2 quotations added. Let's remove them. When I click the button to remove, again I call a function. We only want to remove the newly added quotations. We don't want to remove the original quotations. So how do we do that? We need to use an if condition. The if condition will determine the length of the array. The initial length of the array was 8. So if the length of the array is 9 or greater, we will remove the quotation. If not, we will do nothing. Again, after you remove the quotation, you need to call the function to load that new array, or you will not see what was removed. So now I will click to remove, and now I will click to remove, and if I continue clicking, nothing will happen. At minimum, you need 2 functions for this assignment. And if you include the extra credit, you will need 2 more functions, 1 for each button. So this is the page you will be given. You can see that I have an element where the random quote will be. And further down, we have the place for displaying all of the quotations. And here we have the form for extra credit. So if we look at the source code, I have IDs written in to the elements that you will need to be using. So here this span will contain the random quote. I have a div inside the main element that will contain all of the quotes generated from the for loop. And I have IDs in my form elements for you to use. Function calls will be placed in the script tag at the end of the document because they have references to page elements. The array itself can be placed in between the script tags in the head section, and the functions will be placed in the head section also. I also have placed the code for the random number for you and to retrieve the value for the text box. The quotations will also be provided. So hopefully you will enjoy this assignment.